All right, in the gamer space, you guys know that I'm in the gamer space kind of all the time with this stuff. Aaron Prager from AP Unfiltered sent me this, said, hey man, I just came across something for you that you might be interested. There's a new game out called Take Us North, and it's essentially an illegal immigrant simulator. All right. This is it. And we're going to look at this Asmongold reaction because I haven't seen it. But apparently the company is super woke and they took down their website or made it private after they deactivated their Twitter after Asmongold made a reaction video. It says, if the game gets canceled before release, Zach, that's Asmongold. He says, will it be deported or aborted? That's freaking hilarious. So let me see if I can find this video. Okay, here it is.
At Gamescom, they're currently showcasing a game about illegally crossing into the USA and processing the trauma from being a minority with real audio clips from real illegals. I have to see this. I have to see it. I want to watch it. This is content. Wait a minute. Okay, we might have something here. Let's get it.
As my pronouns are she, her, and
shit!
Instantly start with the pronouns.
I just got triggered.
Great. So I got a little intro. Thank you. My name's Carla Reyes. My pronouns are she, her. And yeah, I run a little indie studio called Anima Interactive. We're developing Take Us North, which is about migration across the U.S.-Mexico border, which is obviously a very relevant and heavy-hitting topic.
Yeah.
But that's why we found it important to talk about now. And I'll share a little bit about our behind-the-scenes in the development of this project, because it's very deeply rooted in research. Given how sensitive and complex and nuanced the subject matter is, we want to make sure that we are telling these stories.
Are they going to research the way that illegal migrants steal the identities of American citizens and then claim their benefits illegally?
Bro, Asmon's
based.
They're
going to talk about that.
Authentically, and that we are, you know, reaching our goal in trying to shift hearts and minds around this. So before I begin, I'm actually curious.
Yeah, this isn't a game, it's propaganda.
100%.
Of course. Obviously it is.
100%. They've been doing this for a while now. Look, I've been gaming since I was 4 years old. Okay. Nonstop. I took 10 months off once when I was a young adult. I was like, I'm kind of too old for games and I need to focus on other things. 10 months off. And it didn't make me any happier at all, and I went back to gaming. So I will say the fact that they've gotten rid of storytelling and compelling characters and protagonists that you want to be and antagonists you want to fight and switched it into this like lecture on wokeness. And also you got the like female wingman thing going on where like there's this concept of the female wingman, right? So if you get a female wingman, she's only going to set you up with somebody uglier than her. So women that develop for these games, they're only going to put a character in that's uglier than her. And they do a really good job of that. So if you hadn't heard of that concept, I kind of just made it up and applied it to video games for the first time. So we can clip that. But anyways, that's a thing. So they've uglified all of these damn characters. And then also you have the woke ESG scores and the she, her shit and all the trans stuff and mastectomy scars and the woke gender. What was it? A lecture. There was the Dragon Age where the lady she misgenders your character and then she does push-ups and apologizes. Yeah, fucking crazy. So all that's been going on. And then now we have this. This is like the final boss of woke lectures in a video game. Some indie game. You could see the damn southern border wall and it's a bunch of people who are, oh, they're these poor people. They need to get over there. My ass, dude. What?
To ask all of you, because I'm mindful there might not be many Americans in the room. Are there any Americans, by the way? No, okay. Oh, okay, that's good. Okay, so could I ask, what are your perceptions around like the motivations behind migration across the U.S.-Mexico border? Like, what are you hearing in the headlines in the news? I'm just curious. You know, you can shout things out, or yep, go ahead. Trump out. Yes. Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, I would mod the game where you go in and you're like a double agent who actually works for ICE, and you're just setting up like alligator moats and landmines and shit and busting people and sending them to Guantanamo Bay and El Salvador. That would be actually kind of awesome. So we should have a counter game where you work for ICE. If some indie developer came out with a game where you work for Border Patrol and you're like launching the illegals back over the wall with a catapult, it would explode. People would pay money to play that. And if you could get different skins, you could sell the skins of these people wearing like different uniforms. You could buy a Trump skin where you could be Trump, loading up the trebuchet and whoosh, launching them bitches miles back over the border. People would pay money for that. Nobody's going to pay money for this.
There's somebody got to do this. Like, this is bad.
What do you think is the primary motivation for people from Latin America or otherwise crossing the U.S.-Mexico border?
Who cares?
Violence.
Great. Okay, violence.
Great.
Yeah,
Anyone
that's
else?
the problem.
Great. They're bringing violence.
I agree. I used to live in El Salvador some years, and violence is the main.
Yes. Okay. So this is great because I think like in the U.S., one of the narratives that's being pushed is obviously, you've probably heard this. Americans or they'll often say Latin Americans, or they'll be reductive to Mexicans. They will say like they're just stealing our jobs, right? Like
They are.
Yeah, they
In
are.
fact, they're stealing the jobs. They're creating more traffic. They overload social systems.
Yes.
They steal people's identities to get government benefits. They steal, obviously, a bunch of other different type of entitlement programs like food stamps, etc. They do jobs for cents on the dollar that should be made for Americans, or they should be improved by automation instead of relying on illegals as a working class of people.
Yeah, the Federal Reserve, the way it was set up with this like endless inflation and sending all of manufacturing overseas where we could get it cheaper, the only way it can still operate here is by lowering the cost of labor and products. So they have to keep importing cheaper and cheaper shit, and they have to keep hiring like cheaper and cheaper labor. So that's where the illegals are coming in. They're like basically filling in where we're getting killed on inflation so that these companies can still have the profits where they want them to be. And the middle class people and the American born citizens are the ones getting screwed by all of this the whole time. I mean, you look at our buying power, power of the dollar, real estate, all that stuff. I've said this before, and it is 100% true. The bad press of mass deportation is gonna be there no matter what. Okay, no, whether you send out 1,000 people, 100,000 people, 10 million people, it's gonna be bad press, and they're gonna go after you. If you can weather the bad press and actually do it, every big problem we have will be helped in such an astronomic way. If you could weather the bad press of deporting people in mass, the benefits that would come out of it would be so great so quickly that people would want more. They would scream for more, and it would have a compounding effect, and you would get more and more support for getting rid of more and more people who are here illegally. And they did commit the crime of coming here illegally. They're all criminals by the law, under the law. They are, every single one of them. And that's uncomfortable for people because you're like, they left because of violence. Oh, they left because of whatever. Well, you know what? The world's not fair. The world is not fair. And we are very blessed to be American citizens. It's like the greatest gift you could ever get is to be born in the United States as a legal citizen. And we need to show that and tell that to our kids, that you should love America because it's the land of opportunity. And you have that opportunity as an American citizen. Opportunities that no one else, any other part of the world is able to get. But this is bullshit that we have this crazy idea that the American taxpayer is supposed to both welcome the entire third world into our gates and outsource with foreign aid the means to feed and shelter and clothe and give water to everyone existing on Earth. We do not owe them a damn thing, and we don't have the numbers to even do it. There are 300 million people in America. It might be 400 million with 100 million illegals, but we'll talk about that later. There's 8 billion people on Earth. 5% of the population or whatever it is cannot rescue 95% of the population. They got to figure it out. So that has to happen, and it's not our fault. It's not our job. And this her crazy chick is using that weaponized suicidal empathy that the liberal, mostly the liberal white woman, has been programmed to eat up as like this great virtue. It's not a great virtue to have empathy to a suicidal level. It's not even a little bit. Said so many countries not only immediately deport illegals, but many will take shots at you if you try to cross illegally. That is 100% fact. Yes. And yeah, we have a lot of people here that do need to get off their ass and go to work. That is true. So, and part of it is going to be a promise. If you are productive in society, you will have a decent life. And, there's no guarantees, but generally that is becoming less and less attainable because the Cloward Piven strategy to overwhelm our social economic system with illegal immigration through the southern border, which these people predicted and set up as a means to create a socialist system here in America. They wanted to do it. They've tried to do it. Trump stopped them cold in their tracks. And now we have to get these people out. And there's so many more than any of us believe or know about. And this type of last ditch effort to vilify the people solving this problem is getting crushed right out the gate. I mean, if Asmongold did this video and then all these other people do reactions to his reaction, and their reaction to those reactions is to close down the website, they know that they should be ashamed of what they've done here. They absolutely know. And yes, they want to do it by 2030. That's the 2030 agenda. They want to overwhelm our system, make us a socialist nation. They want us all completely dependent on the government with social credit scores. They're trying to get all of this done in a rush. And us and mostly the Trump administration is fighting this bigly. So we got to have it happen. And I'm totally here for it.